Welcome back. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. Indeed, we are right in the middle of the deep. This waters is deep, very deep, as we talk about sexual consent in marriage. Is there anything such as rape in marriage? Does the husband have the full permission to have sex with his wife at any time, because he's married to her? And somebody was saying, oh, I've paid dowry, I dobale, I did this, I did that. So anytime we're married, anytime I need it, she go bring her bum, come miss me. What are your thoughts on that? Do you believe in that? Is that true? Is that not? What if she's not in the mood to do it? What if she's not ready to do it with you at the time? What happens then? What do you do as a man? Do you walk away or do you force your way in? What do you do as a woman? Do you walk away or do you find somebody else to fill that gap for you? This is what we're talking about today and more. Sexual consent in marriage. Feel free to join the conversation. Call in on 0705 993 6937 or 0705 993 7937. You can also send messages on 0812 806 2337. 0812 806 2337. Don't forget to follow at deepwaters_podcast. Deepwaters_podcast for you to tap into our 10K giveaway. You're sending your answers to the question of the day, you're contributing on the show, and you're following at Deepwaters_podcast. So thankfully I have a special guest with me in this house. He's a seasoned professional in digital marketing with over 10 years of experience, and he's navigated various roles showcasing his versatile skill set, or even skills, many skills. In 2023, he embraced the global role at Humentum as a communications officer, contributing significantly to the international financing reporting for non-profit organization projects. He's also committed to social impact and has reflected that in his voluntary work at the Mirabel Center, addressing issues related to sexual exploitation, abuse, and harassment. Ladies and gentlemen, I am with me in the studio is Ademola Adebusoye. Ademola's journey is marked by awards and certifications that has showed how committed he is to excellence and continuous learning. And he forges ahead. His story underscores the transformative power of strategic thinking and relentless pursuit of excellence in digital marketing, and most importantly in standing for or against the sexual exploitation and harassment. He's married with a boy. He has been married for 4 years, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say, oh, his wife is expecting, because I'm a fan of them on social media. They create wonderful content on social media, himself and his wife. And of course, I'm still here in the studio with Ademola Adebusoye. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. A&G. Where is Mrs.?
Mrs. is fine. She's at home. Good evening, Deborah. Good evening, listeners and viewers, wherever you are.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm super excited to have you. I can't wait to hear all your thoughts and opinions especially on the topic of the day.
Okay.
All right. So, where do we even start from, Seth?
You can start from anywhere. You can start from the top. You can take it from the middle, and then we'll just take it up from there.
Maybe we should take it from the middle, because this is deep waters. Just go right into the deep.
Right into the deep. Yes, right into the deep.
Okay. So let's talk about marital rape. Is there anything like that? Does it exist? Because so far we've heard some people say there's nothing like that. I paid dowry, I dobale, I married her, she's my wife and my property. Anytime I want it, I will get it. So is it not possible to, when she now says no and I say I will take it by force, is that a situation? Is there any something like that, and what does it mean?
Yes, there is such a thing as marital rape, and it is grounds for divorce. Actually, we are on deep water, so I'm just going to go straight deep into it. There is such a thing as marital rape, and it is grounds for divorce. People who think that there's nothing like marital rape are maybe from the, I won't say not even millennials. I'll say maybe the jet agers, sort of. Those are the people that still think that there's nothing as marital rape because you paid bride price. I mean, how much can you pay for a human being? She's not a slave. She's not a slave. So even if you pay the bride price, Yoruba tradition, they will even return the bride price to you. So what did you pay? You took 42 yams, and you think that, okay, that's enough for you to be able to, have your way with your wife at any time you so desire. No. it's not
So
not the way to
what
go.
does it mean? Because that marital rape sounds somehow. What,
No, so basically it
what
means
does it
that
mean?
you need consent, vocal consent, to be able to have
Vocal
intercourse.
permission?
Yes, vocal permission to be
Like,
able to
so
have
if you want
intercourse
to
with
do
you.
it, husband and wife, I have to go and meet my husband and say, baby, I want to
Babe, how
do.
far now?
Then he has to now say yes.
You know, some of us will even say, when we want to, you know, when I want to make love to my wife, I go and meet her and say, babe, how far? I miss you now. So, you know, and it's okay, I miss you too. Okay, how far? Are we ready? Do you want to do this or do you don't want to do this?
Okay, I thought
So,
it's a situation of, how far? You have to ask.
No. It does not have to be direct.
Okay.
But then you need to make sure that the other party, because marriage is between two people, the other party also needs to be in the mood, or maybe you set the other party into the mood for the action you're about to have.
But in that case, that means it's easy. It's now a question of, you're saying, it doesn't have to be direct. So that means the spouse can come later and say, I did not say it directly.
No. I'm not. Well.
Yes, now.
Not to be problematic.
If you say, I want sugar, you not say, I give sugar. When you not start, you not say, I did not.
Well,
I did not say I want it. Did I tell you yes?
And maybe the person is married to the weapon fashioned against them. In that case, because I wouldn't think of anyone in their right senses would say, you've agreed to, by actions can also prove that yes, okay, I'm in the mood for this thing. For example, you know, early morning, sometimes you want to wake up early morning and then make love with your partner. That kind of intercourse does not need to say, oh yes, let's go ahead. When you touch your partner and the partner is receptive to your touch, I mean, that is consent. It is marriage. You don't have to like actually say it out, but you've touched your partner in a sexual manner and he or she has responded to it. That is consent.
So in a situation where initially they do not respond, like they say, you know, woman, leave me now, and then now eventually respond, is that also consent?
Yes, it is consent. If you don't want to make love with your partner, say no.
And your body language must give
and your
that
body
too.
language must
not
give
that
that
you be
too.
saying,
Not that you
stop
are.
it.
I think most people that do that are people in relationships, not actually married couples. When you are married, there's a particular way you and your partner already know that okay, this is my green light, and then you go ahead.
Interesting. So there's something I read when I was doing my research. You say matrimonial consent, or is it blanket consent? That because I'm married to her, then it's a covering. Because if that is the case, why is it not illegal? Why marital rape is not punishable under the law?
It is actually punishable under.
Is
well,
it?
It's not, maybe not criminal, but then if you want to divorce your partner, I think it's called statutory rape or something in the constitution. When you want to divorce, you can. That will say it is grounds for divorce in Nigeria. If you go to the court and tell the courts that.
I'm so sorry to cut you. You said grounds for divorce. What about the punishment on the perpetrator, especially if the person is guilty? Or
I don't think there's any criminal. I don't think there's any criminal law that covers in marriage. I don't think there's anyone. You can correct me, listeners. If you're there, you can also call in to
to help us
say
out.
your mind. I don't think there's any criminal law.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that it's not punishable.
But I think that it should be. Really,
it is not punishable.
It should be. Thinking about it,
and that is why if somebody does it now, even when we're talking about it now, they'll say, it's not a crime now.
Okay, it may not be a crime, but men, do you want to be happy, or do you want to have complaints in your marriage always? That is one question you want to ask yourself. If you are always forcing yourself on your partner, or what's the word? There's a word we use, Gen Z's use these days. They say you coerce your partner into having sex with you against their will. That's the key word, against their will. There are ripple effects of these things. Your partner may begin to resent you, and the home will not be happy. So aside the criminality of it, you want your home to be happy. You want people to. You can go to people's houses and then you feel the atmosphere, and you know that there's something wrong in this place. You may not really know what it is, but then you see the way the couple interact. You know that something is wrong, something is off somewhere.
Interesting.
So,
very interesting. Let's take a caller. Let's just hear from. Okay, I lost that call. The number to call is 0705-993-6937 or 0705-993-7937. I'd really love to hear your thoughts on the topic. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Deborah.
Yeah.
Joseph calling back.
Hi, Joseph. Thanks for calling.
So I've already sent you a message on my topic also and on your WhatsApp, but let me even say it out also. Are you with me?
Joseph, I already said you send it as a message. We are focusing on the topic right now. So if you're not contributing on the topic, let's take the next one.
I'm talking about your topic.
Okay, please. Okay,
yeah,
go on.
If
Go
you
on
read
then.
your message WhatsApp.
Okay, no said. Please go ahead and contribute.
What I'm saying is that I can't force my wife to have sexual intercourse with her.
But
so it is both of us. We understand. I will just wait till the next day because we understand each other. And if she's in the mood too, she can't force me to have sex with her. We both of us normally wait till the next day. It is just a matter of communication, my dear. That is just my point of view here. When you both understand each other, it is not by force. You have to have intercourse with her when I'm not in mood.
So Joseph, in a situation where you people start to do the thing and then in between she changes her mind, what do you do then? Do you try and finish up?
Can you come again?
I say in a situation where you guys are doing the thing and in between she changes her mind, what do you do then? Do you finish up or what do you do?
You said if she really needs it, is that
what if you guys have agreed that you're going to do it, you have started. In between, she now changes her mind and say, oh, I don't want to do again. What would you do?
No, you know there are some things you can do to a lady to make her feel comfortable, even though I don't want to have sex with her sexually. You know, you can touch her, you can let her feel alright. So you understand, that's what I normally do to her. So to make these things work out, because I know that we are both tired. So that's what I would do. At the end of the day, the next day we'll sleep up with doing what we want to do the next day. That's how I handle my own.
Interesting, Joseph. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. All right. I want you to comment on that. And also the question I just asked him.
Oh, yeah. Well, in between strokes, when your partner says stop, there must be a reason. Perhaps he or she is feeling some pains or discomfort, or maybe the position is not right and there's some sort of discomfort. At that point, you actually need to stop. It's not going to be easy to stop because, I mean, maybe you're on cloud 8 going on cloud 9 and she says stop or he says stop. You will be happy, but you need to understand that, oh, this is a human being as well. And they have feelings, they have expectations, and maybe the whole process is not even going nicely, and then so let's just stop this, and continue another day, maybe when we're in the mood. So you just have to, it's not going to be easy. Like I said, those are sacrifices we have to pay to make sure that we are both happy in the relationship. Interesting.
So a lot of women actually, I read somewhere that 1/3 of women around the world are constantly, exploited or abused, sexually or maritally raped in quotes, but they don't come out to speak about it or speak up about it. Why would you say?
I think it's the way the community takes it. In Africa, in Nigeria, for example, they will tell you that why didn't you two allow him to do? Why didn't you? That's what people will say. So women will just
you are the wife.
You are the wife. He has paid your bride price. Yeah, it is because of those snide remarks that people say that make people just bottle it up and they say, well, because. So one thing I need women to know or men to know is that because people say these things does not make it right. When you are feeling uncomfortable with these things, you need to speak up. Talk to your partner about it. If your partner is not listening, maybe go to a counselor, go to a sexual therapist. Some of these things, people feel like if I go to a therapy, it means that maybe something is wrong somewhere. Not necessarily something wrong, but just trying to find something that works for you. That is why you need to go to a therapist.
Interesting. And you were saying something about you started on the effects of of marital rape and how you said, oh, sometimes if the marriage won't be a happy place. Yes. What other effects and how dangerous can this be, especially now that we know that it's not a crime in the legal constitution, but it's a crime to humanity. It's a crime to the person's body, to the person's self-esteem, a crime to the person's a sense of being, and all that. So what other effects?
Well, it can also lead to low self-esteem in the victim, so to say. Perhaps it could be the husband, it could be the wife. It could lead to low self-esteem, and that alone can also lead to multiple things. It can even lead to loss of jobs.
Or it could even lead to...
Yeah, it could lead to loss of job because you are not happy at home, and then you come to work, and then you just mishandle things that naturally you wouldn't mishandle, but because you are not happy at home, you just ultimately find yourself doing things you are not supposed to do or not doing them well, and then it will get you fired at work.
Have you heard of situations where you just say that the wife stabs the husband? I've heard those stories like that. He stabbed him, or he just poisoned him, and all that. Could that also be some of the effects of maybe
Yeah, but that is criminal. It could be. It could be. People could take law into their hands. You don't know how. It gets to a point that people begin to feel depressed. The victim begins to feel depressed, and then begins to feel, if nobody is doing anything about it, let me take things into my hand and then do what I need to do and get out of this place. And then they just go ahead and do it. It is criminal. Anyone who does that should be punished to the full extent of the law.
So what should a woman or man do when they are in a space where their rights are constantly being, raped?
Well, there are many organizations out there now in Lagos who would listen to you. You could just do a Google search on organizations that talk about sexual health and what's it called? Abuse, sexual abuse.
Before you finish up, let's just quickly take a call and then you pick up from there. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Good evening.
Hi. Good evening.
Yeah. Chinedu.
Who's that?
Chinedu.
Chinedu. Thanks for calling, Chinedu.
Yeah. I think there is a law against rape when a man forces himself on his wife. There is a law against it, even in marriage.
Really?
You can't force uncle. Yes, there is.
Okay.
There is. I think I was speaking with a lawyer some time ago, and he actually spoke about that. There is a law against it. When you force one, that is going against someone wishes.
But is that rape or marital rape? Because I also did my research and it wasn't. I didn't really see anything like that. Maybe there is.
No, there is. Talk with a lawyer. There is. I was speaking with a lawyer some time ago, and if you any attempt to force or cause bruises or make someone feel uncomfortable in maybe some sort of sexual intercourse, there is a law against it.
Interesting. Thank you so much for that.
And I don't even, though as much as I don't subscribe to women using sex as a weapon, in marriage.
That's another point.
Yes.
That's another point.
Using as weapon, maybe because of something happened, the husband did it this way, and they don't use it as weapon. No, I don't subscribe to that. But it's never a right or a way or an avenue for any man to kind of force himself, or even the woman, because we have it when a woman, you sense in forcing yourself on their spouse. So it's never a way. It's never the best option for one to force themselves on their partner. There's a law against it.
Interesting.
And then for your giveaway, I just feel like you should do it the old way you normally used to do it.
I should do it the way I normally do it, Abby. Okay, I'll speak with my team and I would revert on that. Thank you so much, Chinedu, for calling. I appreciate it. All right, this is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters, and we're hearing very interesting opinions. This is one thing I'm about we Nigerians. I feel like sometimes we don't even know the laws, and when we go online, we try to find, we don't see. And what happens in that situation? Do we always have to speak to our lawyers to even know the law, or what?
The truth is that most people don't even have lawyers in the first place. Do you have a lawyer, Deborah?
I actually have friend lawyers.
You have friend lawyers, not people you put on retainers.
Lawyer friends.
Lawyer friends are not your lawyers. So
actually,
yes. I mean, everyone needs to have a lawyer who you could easily ask questions. Sometimes they may be friends, like you mentioned. I mean, it could be also social media lawyers who are on social media talking about the law. I mean, there's one very popular lady, the hot lawyer, on Instagram who talks about these things that we're talking about. She would have more knowledge about this because she studied. I didn't study law. My dad wanted me to study law, but story for another day.
Interesting.
So speak with lawyers, ask questions. If you find yourself in any situation at all within your marriage, you can talk to a lawyer. They are easily accessible. Talk to them, and then you get solutions, you get answers.
Interesting. I hear you loud and clear. I hear you loud and clear, but I also feel like in this part of the world, like a lot has to be done with actually knowing our rights as human beings, beyond do this small thing. If we know our rights, we'll not start, we let a lot of things get away because we have a way of surviving. Because we know if we go and fight for it, we'll not even get we'll not get the...
That is the bone of contention. If you go to the courts, and the legal system in Nigeria is slow.
Very slow.
Very, very slow. And before the end of the case, things might have happened. Terrible things might have happened. So some people just walk away without having to go to the law, to the courts rather, to get justice for what have happened to them. Many people, what do you want to read in the Constitution? How would you read it? The Constitution that we are seeing on the street, they are selling around, that's just a fraction of it. It's actually large. It's a very large. It's a very large. So that is why you need lawyers to ask, do I have a right in this case? Do I have a right in this thing? Do I have this thing, this and this happened to me? What am I right in this situation? You need to ask the right questions. And most people come to social media and send, please let me post on the timeline. Maybe your followers would have a response for me. No, go to a lawyer. Ask. Go to a professional doctor. Go to a therapist. Ask them. Go to a counselor. Ask them these questions that you need to ask. Don't come on social media and then tell influencers to help you post on their timeline so that they can get comment for people who are not professionals.
Oh, so I just something came to my mind now. Sometimes some women or even men, sometimes they just say, I don't think it was really rape. But how do you know? Like, something, especially in that type of situation, how do you know? Is it a feeling?
The first question is, did you willingly do it? That is the first question you want to ask yourself. Okay, along the line, did you now say, okay, just go ahead? Or did you insist that, no, I don't want this, and then it still happened? Those are the very important questions you need to ask yourself.
So
did it happen against my will?
Between the three of them, the clear no is the no consent.
That you said no from A to Z, but it still happened. That is rape. Now, you said no, but maybe after a little cajoling, touching, and all that, you said, okay, yeah, come and do. No, you have already agreed to the act.
That's coercion.
That's coercion. But you agreed to it.
But that's
and it's marriage.
This coercion thing,
if we are going to see, I think it's Gen Z people that are making this, blowing this out of proportion.
But it is. Sometimes people persuade you to do something you don't want to do. If you ask somebody, I don't want to do it, but I just did it because...
Why are you doing something because?
You're coerced.
No. You say no, and that is no is no. Your no should be your no. And this is one of the things that causes problems for people in relationships, even in marriages, because you don't even know when the no means no. Someone can say no, but deep within them. Okay, I've seen a lady who said, ladies come on social media and they said, so this guy asked me out once and I said no and then he stopped. What happened to effort? You now say, you said no and I stopped. You're not asking me to put effort. If I put effort, you say it's coercion.
Interesting. Let's take another caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I have to call back, Abubakar.
Thank you, Abubakar.
Yeah, listen to me. You see, as a man and even a woman, we have people that they like to have sex every day. Whether your expert be listening to, we have men and women like that. They need sex every day. We have some men and women, they don't even like to do it maybe once in a week, once in a month. Or there are some, they don't even want it at all. They only like foreplay. So you as a man, if you have the woman that needs sex every day and you don't have that strength, allow her to go. And you, the man, if the woman can't satisfy you, go and ask. There is no religion on earth that says man should not marry more than one wife. You understand? Just to settle the problem. And again, yes, taking the permission as you were saying, yes, as you are saying, yes, you have to, at least where we come from, if you marry more than one wife, whichever one that is going to cook maybe for the week or maybe for the 5 days, is the one that you are going to have the bed with. So there is nothing like having problem with that at all. As if she is not in the mood, you can go to the other one. That's it.
Abubakar, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it.
No, do you understand me?
We understand you loud and clear. He called in earlier though to say that he doesn't believe in anything like permission. If your wife is your wife and you own her completely. So
yes, now. There's nothing like telling you that I'm not in the mood. Every tomorrow, today not in the mood, tomorrow in the mood.
So, but what about you, Abubakar? Have you not been in a situation where she wants to do and you are not in the mood? Are you always in the mood?
Yes,
are you always in the mood? There are times where you will travel and go, and she wants to do. Will you come back and come and meet her?
No, that doesn't make any sense now.
No, how doesn't that make any sense? If I want to do and you travel, I will tell you to come back, to come and do what you, since we both own each other, if that's the case.
Hello?
I'm here with you, Abubakar. I'm right here with you.
No, you said what? What did you just say?
I said that if as a woman, you are saying that we have our right into each other now. You want to do, and if she says no, it does not make sense. So I'm saying, if I want to do as your wife, and I'm saying that, and you are not around, you traveled, and I say I want it now, babes, I want it now. You have to come back from wherever you are and come and do it.
So that is the problem I've told you before.
Will you come back, or will you let me marry like 3 husbands, so that when you are not around, somebody else can do the job? I've listened to you, Abubakar. I've listened to you. Oh, you also listen to me.
Yeah. Okay. Let me wait.
Answer my question. You're not answering my question.
Abubakar, will you come back?
Will you come back from where you are to come and do? Because I don't have 2 husbands or 3 wives. Just like you have 2. I don't have 2 husbands, but you have 3 wives.
So let me ask a question,
Please,
Abubakar.
yes, please.
Your wife comes back from work, obviously stressed with Lagos traffic, but you're in the mood, and then you go to her and she says no. What are you going to do?
You see, but from my own faith, when you did this that night, you tell her from the daytime or before she comes back from the office. Whichever answer you have from her then will determine what you do.
No, she said no already. She said no, she's not in the mood because she's tired.
If she said no, you leave her now. I went to fight with her. You don't need to leave her now. But it's not in my own faith. They say she should not say no. You understand? So that is it.
Abubakar, thank you. Say you can have 2 wives now. Be me, I cannot have 3 husbands, and you cannot still come and service me when you are not around. Then me, I will be left hanging. Oga, shift one side, Jare. Make I hear what they speak Janbajantis there. You go get 2-3 wives there, but you go travel. Me, I go there here. They look you. That's what we are talking about. Consent. It has to be. We have to service each other and enjoy ourselves. So if you are going to, you are saying no. What if she's not around? What happens then? What if she's pregnant? What if he's not around? What if he's busy? What if he's sick? What happens then?
You give up. You give up.
So I want to ask you one question as a man. So when your woman says no, what do you do, and what are the options other men can take?
I'm going to bath, pour cold water on my body. I'm going to pour cold water on my body, and that's it. That's all. I mean, what else do you want to do?
And your body will cool down.
Of course, I've not seen anybody who would pour cold water on your body and you still be upstanding. No.
See that you go and put the water in the fridge and then bring it out.
If you have to do that, it's fine. If you have to do that, maybe go and bring. I mean, most people have showers in their home these days, so just turn on the shower and then have a cool bath.
Have a cool bath and your body will be fine. Will come back to normal.
You'll be fine.
So, but what if it's a situation where constantly your partner constantly says no?
Go for counseling.
Go
for counseling. That's the easy way out, because you will keep assuming that what am I doing wrong? But then if you don't go for counseling, you wouldn't actually figure it out. Counselors are there to help you figure things out. They are not there to solve the problem for you. They are there to help you figure it out. Okay, what is actually going on? Then when you understand what is going on, you can now decide how you want to proceed from there. That is the job of counselors.
Interesting. And how do you think is your partner saying no a leeway for you to go out and cheat, especially when it comes to entitlement?
No, it is not. If your partner says, I don't know, I don't understand the school of thought behind having more than one partner, especially when you're married. I don't understand the school of thought.
It's permitted in some
well, if it's permitted in your religion, fine. Go ahead. But marry the person, not that you are married to one person and then you have a side chick out there that you are not married to. if your law says, if your religion says yes, you can marry more than one wife, marry as many wives as you want to marry, and let them be in the house, or put them in different houses, but let them know that, oh, I'm married to this person, not that this is a side chick that I'm not married to. That means that is a sin.
Interesting. And finally, how do you think we can just, eliminate marital rape, so to say? What's the first important thing to do?
The most important thing to do is communicate. Not just talk, not just listening to respond, because Nigerians, we do that a lot. We listen to respond. What if this? What? And then stop throwing out what ifs. Listen to actually understand what your partner is saying, or if your partner is not speaking, you speak and tell your partner exactly how you feel. There was a situation one time in my house. I wanted my wife to do something. I told her earlier. She was feeling tired. I just went there and said, I told you to do this. I told you, you didn't answer me. And then I left. But by the time she stood up, she came and told me that, but that's not how we agreed to speak with each other. And
interesting. She
had to communicate with me to let me understand that, oh, this is how she was feeling at that point in time. And then I apologized for the way I spoke to her. So you need to actually communicate. Don't assume things. There are a lot of people that assume things and then just take wrong decisions because of the assumptions. But if you actually communicate with your partner, speak with your partner, you will understand the things you need to do and when you need to do them.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Ademola Adebusoye, for coming on the show and
thank you for having me, Deborah.
You've been an absolute gentleman. I can imagine what your wife will be experiencing at home. Full consent at all times.
Well,
how can people find you? I know you create content with your wife.
Yes,
online, you do a lot of things. How can people find you on social media?
So to find my personal page is Ademola Adebusoye on Instagram, on Twitter, anywhere you go to Ademola Adebusoye. But for my content creation page with my wife is Mr. and Mrs. AG _ on Instagram. On TikTok is just Mr. and Mrs. AG. On YouTube, just search for Mr. and Mrs. AG and you're going to find us. You guys really need to go and check out their content. Absolutely beautiful content. I just imagine how, they'll be getting so much content. If you're doing that to your wife regularly, there'll be consent here and there. No stress. No stress left and right. And to all of you who called to be a part of the show and sent your messages, I saw all your messages. I'll just take one message. Because of time, I can't take a message. But I'll definitely announce the winner of today's 10K giveaway on the next show on Friday at 5 p.m. So please do well to join because there's no time here. I won't be able to read all the messages and respond. But the 10K winner will be announced first thing on Friday at 5 p.m.
There's so many young guys out there that will not be caught dead paying bills for anybody.
To be with someone that teaches you how to love yourself.
Any change that anybody did not do before marrying you, don't expect that.
When I stop going to school, I cry. Just tell me, blind boy.